Welcome to She Sells Radio. It is day 19 of the Finish Strong Challenge. Holy moly, we are almost halfway there. If you've been joining me from the start, how are you doing? What has your progress been? I want you to just take a quick moment and check in and congratulate yourself on whatever forward movement you have made as you participated. And hey, if you are brand new to the podcast or you're like, I've listened for a while, but I kind of got off track. I haven't been listening and I don't know what the challenge is. No worries at all. What I talk about today is going to apply whether or not you're participating in the challenge. But if you are listening in real time and you want to get in on it, you can go to ElyseArcher.com/challenge. This is a November, December challenge that we're running for you to help you complete 2022 strong. Be so proud of yourself as you wrap up this year and really just be in your greatest power as you enter the new year. And funny enough, that's kind of what we're talking about today, which is this concept of power over pressure. And I know this week there's been a lot of like this over that. I think I was just kind of in that zone when I was mapping out the challenge topics, but this is something that's going to apply both with yourself. So it's an energy and a stance and a posture for yourself as you go after your goals, as well as an energy that you can take with your customers, clients, and prospects that will make a big difference in terms of your results with them. So if you've listened to some of the past episodes, you know I've been deep in reading Power versus Force? Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins. Incredible book. And I'm close to done now as I record this, but the whole concept behind that is at a very high level. It's like there's two different energies from which we can live our lives. And a lot of people try to live their lives by this force energy, which is low level. You think like manipulate, hustle, coerce, fear-based strategies, whether with yourself or with others. And that there's this whole different way of living and different way of achieving your goals that comes from a place of true power. And when you're there, when you're in that energy, it's a radically different experience and it's a radically different result as well. So I highly recommend that book if you haven't read it. But I wanted to kind of take that concept and talk today about what would it look like for you to choose to be in an energy and posture of power versus pressure as you complete the rest of this year. So, like I said, this is going to apply both with how you show up for yourself as well as how you are with your clients. And I want to just dive into from my perspective, what does it look like to be in a pressure energy versus a powerful energy? So when you think about a pressure energy, it is that element of force. Like, I feel like I've got to force myself to do this or else, or I feel like I've got to force a customer to do this or else. And I know, especially as we go into end of the year and depending on where you are with quota or with your revenue goals, you may feel some extra pressure to try to hit those numbers, right? And if you're in any element of pressure, force, energy, it's actually, you're not going to get as good of a result. So I want to help you shift that energy into a more powerful energy here today. Pressure is feeling scarcity. It's feeling anxiety. It's that, and we've all been there. I've been there too, right? Like laying there in the middle of the night, like, how am I going to get this done? How am I going to pay this bill? But any sort of scarcity or anxiety energy is definitely pressure. It's, do you feel separate from your goals? So as you think about where you are right now and where you desire to be, do you feel a sense of separation from it? Or does it feel, even if it hasn't happened yet, which it hasn't happened yet, right? Because that's why it's still you're in goal phase. Do you feel at peace with it, right? But if you feel separation, then it's likely that you were in that pressure energy. From a sales standpoint, pressure is, creating false deadlines, false scarcity for your customers. Think like my least favorite thing in the world, a countdown timer on a sales page. Not that this stuff doesn't work. Is it in alignment, right? Is it in alignment? I just know there's so many like false scarcity and closing tactics out there, especially if you're selling online. And I've just never been a fan of those things. And it's really just any energy of lack. Any energy of lack. Those are all pressure. Those are all kind of signs or indications that you're in pressure mode. Now, the opposite is power. And to me, power is when you've shifted the result from, or the kind of your focus from outside to how am I showing up inside? Am I showing up as the person who already has what I want? Meaning, am I feeling like her? Am I thinking like her? It's this quiet assurance that you know what you desire to create is on its way, and it's just a matter of time. And along with that, there's really no element of pressure in you towards yourself or towards others, because there's this feeling of this is already done. And along with that, you convey and you emanate out this magnetism. You know, I was watching a training this morning from a woman in a health and wellness company that I'm involved with. And I was watching it, and it was like her magnetism is so strong, and she's the top earner in this company. And I was like, you can just tell the way she draws people in, and it's not about pressure. It's not about force, but it's about this element of magnetism in her, this like certainty, this quiet assurance. And it was so beautiful to watch, because that's the energy that people like. When you're in that energy, people are drawn to you. They're attracted to you. It's kind of like when you're in that energy of, this is how I feel when I do my sales outreach for whatever it is that I'm selling. It's like, whether you work with me or not, I'm good. Like, I'm cool because I know I'm taken care of either way. If I'm reaching out to you about something, it's because I genuinely want to work with you and I genuinely think you're amazing. But it's not a pressure type of energy. And so that magnetism, that's powerful. That's you knowing what you're about, knowing who you are, not needing the validation of others to tell you that what you are is good, worthy, enough, et cetera. And instead, it's like you become the vortex and you draw opportunities, clients, and customers to you. It's also something we talked about earlier in this challenge, which is putting out the impression of increase. So this same woman was talking about how she just loves like complimenting people, right? And telling them how incredible they are. And it's not from a disingenuous place. It's from a real place of like, I love other people. I love working with other people. And I love making them feel good. And that's how I am too. Like, it's my favorite thing in the world to know that I've brightened someone's day, uplifted them. Again, I don't give compliments that aren't genuine. It's truly from the heart. But that's the impression of increase. You know, I got on a call yesterday with one of my former clients, dear friends, and we're planning out a webinar we're doing together in a couple of weeks. And we get on the call and he says to me, he's like, the first thing he says is, "You are such a bright light every time I see you." And I was like, you know what? The fact that he took the time to say that, and he took the time to share that, like, that is impression of increase. And he wasn't doing it in any sort of manipulative, disingenuous way. He literally, it was like coming from the heart. That is so powerful. That is so magnetic. And when you have that energy, both towards others, and here's the real thing, towards yourself, like when you really turn that back on yourself and you are so proud of yourself, you are so fiercely committed to complimenting yourself, like cheering yourself on, because guess what? No one else is going to do it for you. That is that magnetism and that impression of increase. And so it's really, to me, that power energy is about knowing you're going somewhere amazing. And hey, you're here to take people with you if they want to go. Like, that's really it. So we don't feel dependent on any one deal or customer coming through. We don't feel dependent on whatever the social media algorithm craziness is of the day. You know, you're in your power, and you know that you're on the way to achieving your goals, right? That's it. So That's the power versus pressure energy that I want to invite you to explore today. So, for your challenge for today, there's two things that I want to invite you to journal on. And again, when you register for the challenge, elisearcher.com/challenge, you'll get a free workbook every week. So just pop into your workbook for today, check that out. And I want you to look at number one, where are you, where are you in pressure that you need to drop? So is it on yourself? Is it on your customers? Like, where are there any elements of pressure energy that it's just time for you to drop because you know they're low level and you know they're not going to get you the results you're looking for? And then the second is, what would it look like for you to be in your greatest power as you head into the rest of this year? So, what would need to shift in your energy? What would need to shift in your actions in order for you to be in your greatest power? And I want you to journal on that as well. When you are done with those journalings and your daily reflections, grab your social graphic for this week, which you will also receive when you get signed up. Tag me at Elyse Archer and use the hashtag She Sells Challenge to let us know you completed for today. And I really want to hear from you too, like what showed up for you in today's exercise. I'd love if you send me a DM or tag me, let me know. I'm loving hearing the feedback from all of you who are going through this challenge. And I really, really want to support you in this as well. So I can't wait to see what comes out of today for you. Remember, power over pressure. And I will see you on our next episode of She Sells Radio.